Okay, we got a little service call today. Fella turned on his heat, and or at least he said it was his heat, and this happened. So he came up in the attic here, and then first thing we noticed is two 80% furnaces. Looks like Rheem equipment here. So I'm thinking, well, must be air conditioning water. So we start looking. This one has a cap on the drain pan and a float switch. That's the same thing we do. There's a handy clean out above the line there. Then we look over here to this one. We notice there's not a clean out above the P-trap, so we'll put one in it. Not sure if it looks clogged or not, but it certainly could be. Pretty dirty. Then I notice all this water in the pan. So I'm thinking something's going on here. It's like a spare P-trap somebody's got here. So I came around behind here, just gonna look and see if it was piped off or what. And here's what we found. So obviously anybody can make a mistake. Well, that was a pretty bad one to make. The new construction team that did all this house only about 4 years old. They put everything on this side, but this one they did not. So we're going to plug that drain pan back there and flush this drain out. I'll probably pour some cleaner in here and go outside with my shop vac, cap this off and vacuum it out and flush it out. I don't like to put pressure on these lines if I can help it. I just hate to blow a joint apart somewhere that we don't see. So the nitrogen or the swoosh tanks, whatever those little things people use, you know, those are always last resort for me. We use the shop vac outside on the end of the line and then come in and out. We might cut it loose, we need to flush out the P-trap, but we'll get it flowing and hopefully stop this from happening again. So let's get to work here and we'll take a look at the results in a minute. One more thing they had wrong is they had the seal, the rubber seal, on the inside of the pan, and then they had this on the outside, and that is just simply not the way it goes. And a lot of people do that, but you can see if you look at this ring, it is not flat. These barbs edges on it, on each of the teeth, are designed to keep it from spinning back. You can see the direction they're in. So when you twist this ring on to the flat pan, it won't spin back. Now that's not flat, so if those barbs, and you can even see the indentions on the seal where those barbs have been pressing. So water can soak through in between what I'm calling the barbs, and that's just not the way it goes. If you put this seal on the fitting here, then it has a flat surface here on that fitting right there is flat. So it will push the flat surface against the flat surface of the pan, and then the lock ring goes inside. So whenever I see one like that, I take it apart and I put it back to where I know it'll seal. You know, you might get lucky and there's enough rubber there, or it's not quite as cranked down as tight, and it'll work some, but it works much better like this, flat surface against flat surface, and then the ring on the inside. So we're going to put that back together right like that. Okay, so we've corrected that and we've capped it. We've got it tight to where the ring is inside, and we've tightened it down to where it's got a better chance of sealing this way. So now we'll go up here and flush this drain out and cap that and see what we can do to cure this problem. Okay, we've got the air running now, and that should be the top floor AC. The bottom is turned off. So while we can't be 100% sure which of these drains is the top and the bottom, you never know what they did in the wall, we're going to vacuum both of them out with this little Milwaukee 18-volt cordless vacuum. I really like it, and this is about all we use it for. I think I'm going to go grab an elbow. Well, I might have one in here. Yeah. So this makes it easy to vacuum these out. So we're going to see what we get out of these, and then we'll probably go pour a little more cleaner in it once we get it clear, and flush some through this and watch it drain before we leave. It was flat out plugged up, or it's got a low spot in it somewhere, because we just got a bunch of water. There again, we're not 100% positive which one that is, so we're going to do this a few times to both of them, and then we'll go. Garbage out of it too. Let's try the other one, just for good measure. Dirty than the other, but I don't really know which is which yet. So we'll go upstairs and do a little bit more to get that figured out. Sometimes we tape this on with some duct tape and let it sit there and draw continually while we go upstairs and pour the flush through it. Usually just use like some indoor coil cleaner or something like that to flush. Nothing special. I never use bleach, although you do it yourself if you're going to put bleach on it. So let's look a little further into which one is which here. stop these problems. Alright, a couple more things we noticed. We turned the top floor on. He thought it was his top floor, but we noticed no armor flex of about a foot. I thought it was pushed down, but it's not. It's just absolutely missing. So we'll need to fix that. And look at this joke of a foot. Just got it. Sucked in to the max. I just can't believe these cheapos that put this so-called filter slot in there and they call that a filter. I guess the same thing is true over here. It's just this one's not on, so it'll move. So we're going to pour some of this Pro Green. It's cheap. It's an indoor coil cleaner, so don't use that much of it. So I'm going to pour this on these P-traps. Right now I'm just going to put it in this one because this is the one that gave the problems. So we're going to try to get the trap full of it and enough to where when we go down there and vacuum it out, we can tell for sure which is the problematic unit. Just like I say, this is the bottom floor, even though he thought it was his top floor giving problems. But when you got them both in the attic, you really can't tell which one's doing what. So I'm going to leave this up here and we'll come back and flush some through this one while we're at it and bring a piece of Armor Flex to cover that line there. That could potentially drip enough water to cause a problem, but probably hasn't yet. Yes, this one's probably draining okay. Looks fairly clean in there, but we'll flush it next. But first, let's go determine which is which. And that way we'll know which line goes to the top and which line goes to the bottom. That's definitely the bottom floor unit there that was missing the drain cap and made the mess on the ceiling. So let's go back to this. Okay, I turned them both on now so they can flush themselves as well as what we're doing. And let's see if we can determine by the cleaner we poured in which unit is which. Definitely the bottom floor unit, which is the one that caused the problems. So now that we know that, let that unit run a little bit and make some water, and we'll go up there and probably pour a gallon of fresh water through it too. Top one, so we'll go pour some cleaner through it just to kind of, service it while we're here, just to kind of do a little maintenance flushing. this thing run and make them both make water before we leave. Okay, they're both running. And I thought they were both dripping. I still have a little while to wait on the one, but I don't leave till I see them making water. So one we cleaned out is not quite dripping yet. It will be in a minute, I would hope.